Hey everybody. Um, I'm back with another video. I know it's been a second. But we are on spring break right now. No, I'm sorry, not spring break, fall break right now, where I live. So my homeschooling students are also taking a fall break. Um, so I hope this week to get caught up on some of the videos that I've been wanting to make. Today I wanted to do a video on reading fluency. Before I start with the student, I always check their reading fluency to see exactly where they are, and that way I can track their progress. You know, after a few months, I'm sticking to about 6 months, between checks. So that way I can write down where they were, and then we can check to see, if we've progressed and if, what we've been doing has been working and yada yada yada. So I just wanted to do a quick video on how to check reading fluency in your student. The first thing you want to do is you want to pick out a passage for them to read. Now you can pick a passage out of a book that they like, or you can go online and Google reading fluency passages, and there will be passages that are marked what grade that it's for, and will already have all the words counted, because you are going to have to count the words once you decide on a passage for them. So you decide on a passage, and then you will count the words in the passage. So I'll show you what I use. I have 3 different levels of reading that I have. I have one passage from The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. I have a little excerpt from James and the Giant Peach. And then I have a little bit from the Chronicles of Narnia. And this is a whole page, but I have marked out in pencil exactly, where I want them to start and stop. I wouldn't have them do the whole page, because usually I have a struggling reader, and you really only want what is going to take, or what should take, about a minute for them to read. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to get done in a minute, or that they will, they might finish it before the minute is over, which is fine. But that's what you're really timing. You're timing it by the minute. And so once you picked out a passage, you are going to count the amount of words that are in the passage. So for James and the Giant Peach, I counted, there's 131 words in this small passage. Oh, this is not James and the Giant Peach. This is The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. So I counted the amount of words, and you got to do that like a couple times. And if you are picking it out of a larger body of like, if you're picking it out of a whole page, make sure that you keep it concise, like keep it to one thought. Don't start in the middle of a paragraph or in the middle of the story, and make sure it's a complete thought. And that kind of helps the kid as they're reading to not have to stop in the middle of something, or start in the middle of an action that's going on in the story. So just make sure you start at the beginning of an action, and then end at the end. You count all the letters up, all of the words up, and you're gonna write that down somewhere, and then you're gonna have your child or your student read, and you're gonna time them. Some people have them read for only a minute. I usually just time them and let them go until they're finished. And as they're reading, you keep a copy. So I make 2 copies, and as they're reading, don't help them, but as they're reading, follow along. And any words that they miss, mark it down. So cross out the words as they miss it. If they correct themselves, don't cross it out. But if they don't correct themselves, cross it out. Also cross out words that they skip over, and mispronounced words. So you're going to do that, and at the end, you will take the amount of words that they got correct. So the amount of words that are not crossed out, excuse me, and you're going to divide that by the amount of time it took them to finish the passage. So say the passage had 100 words in it, and all total together they read 50 words correctly. Or no, I'm sorry. You say they had 100 words in the passage, and it took them 2 minutes to read it, and they didn't miss any. Then you would divide, and it took them 2 minutes. So you would divide 100 by 2, and you would get 50 words a minute. I've just completely lost my train of thought. I don't know if what I just said makes sense. Let me start over. Okay, if they if they read 100 words and it took them 2 minutes to do it, you would divide 100 by 2. There we go. And you would get 50, so they would be reading 50 words a minute. There we go. Yeah. I'm tired, guys. Okay, so that's what you would get. But if they missed a word, you would have to count that out. You would have to count that off. So if they read 100 words a minute, it took them 2 minutes, but they they mispronounced, or they didn't know like 10 of the words. So you would not count all 100. You would count 90 of the words, and you would divide that by 2. So they would be reading 45 words a minute. So that's what you so you're making sure that you don't count those words. And then once you have done that and you get the amount of words they read a minute, I recorded on a chart. I've got a chart here of some of my students. And then you want to look, after you put the amount of words that they read, you want to look on a chart, and I'm going to put a link in the description below, not only of this chart to gauge your child's grade level, reading grade level, but also a link to some passages that you can use that already have the words counted for you. This is a chart from squidoo.com, and they have all of it. They not only have the amount of words per minute they should be doing in each grade, but they also have the time of year, and if they would be considered, in trouble as far as reading goes. So say your child was reading at, say they were reading 45 words a minute. Well, you'd look on here and you'd find, where would 45 words be? Find 45 words. And say they're in, okay, well, let's see. 45 words. Okay. 45 words a minute would be about at the second grade level, as far as, let's see, okay, so 45 words a minute would be about where a second grader would be in the fall, and they would be considered a low risk. If they were reading, if that same second grader was reading at that fluency when during the winter, they would be considered a higher risk student. So they have, whereabout in the year your child should be reading at that level. So if I have a student that's in the 3rd grade and they are reading 26 words a minute, I would look here and I can see that 26 words a minute is considered a slight risk in the 2nd grade. So that would indicate to me that this kid needs, we need to identify exactly what's going wrong, what is, is it a phonics issue? Is it a sight issue? Is it a medical issue? We need to really figure out how to help this kid, because they're not reading nearly at the place that they should be at this time of the year, especially if they're in public school. That would really be placing them behind. And so I found this really helpful, and I'm using this chart to help me with track the progress of my tutoring students. So I'm going to put that in the description box below, and also the a link to a site with lots of reading fluency passages. So that's going to be all for today, and I hope I was able to help somebody, if you need help with reading fluency, and I hope we will get some more videos in this week, but we'll see. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.